This is Max Scherzer for Pro Boxing fans. I'm glad to be joined today once again by Adam Smith. Adam, always a pleasure. And I want to start this off with a congratulations to you, Izzy, and the whole team. The Heist and GBM Sports goes global. I mean, first of all, can you explain the concept of the Heist and also this collaboration? I think it starts in Dubai and it goes out to Australia, Mallorca. Just talk to me about this whole event and the plan for it.
Happy New Year, first of all, Max, if it's not too late to say that. Huge boxing calendar ahead. Obviously, we were meant to be in Manchester this weekend for Moses the Town, but that's been put back a little bit. But I was there for Guerrilla Promotions last weekend in Germany for Agit Kabayel. So much to look forward to. Josh Kelly in Newcastle next week on the same night that Teofimo Lopez fights Shakur Stevenson. You've got Adam Azim in London. There's just huge amounts, even in January. So really exciting start to the new year. GBM have been fantastic. I've worked with them for a couple of years. Got a big soft spot for Izzy and his team. And yeah, look, they've done really well. Or we've done really well. GBM have been a brilliant sort of from a startup business, I think 4 years ago. Izzy and Mitch and Alex and the guys have done so well, putting on so many really solid fight nights. The production's been fantastic. Been on Talksport, on DAZN. And I think at the end of last year, there was a sort of feeling that let's give something new. And it's something new with a little bit of tradition in there. Obviously, Prize Fighter was a big tournament back in the day at Sky. I think Matchroom did over 50 of them. Boxer had a little go at it. And then DAZN hadn't had a tournament show. And I think the Heist was put on in Hull. Great venue, fantastic night with full of action. One of the best sort of eight-man tournaments I think I've ever seen. It was absolutely brilliant from start to finish. I mean, we had another one at Gorilla last week, which was good as well. They're all good fun nights. People can get involved, they can get hooked in. But the thing about the Heist is obviously the cash prize is big. It's been increased. Sponsorship with Rig, and it's fantastic that they've got that. Announcing this global tour. So having sort of started in Hull and been a brilliant night for everybody, I think, that was involved in the tournament. Maybe Ozzy Osbourne most of all. Obviously, he took all the money and I think the knockout bonus as well, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, great for fighters, but great for fans, and not just at the live event, but on the zone as well. And you can expect many more great nights ahead. So yeah, it's off global. I think it's is it 5 shows in 4 continents or something like that. I think we're heading for Dubai. I think there's a Miami date. There's one in the UK. I know. I think even out in Australia, maybe Mallorca. There's a lot of places being mentioned. I think the first one's a really interesting weight division, which I think is going to be announced in the coming hours. And I think we're looking at April in Dubai to kick it off. And yeah, very much excited about that. I'm enjoying doing various different things in my sort of post Sky life in more of a freelance role. Most importantly, my commentary with DAZN and my little show on a Tuesday on Talksport, which I love. But it's the opportunity of sort of working with different people, and GBM have been fantastic to help and just add a bit of experience and a little bit of knowledge that I've picked up over the years to help the team, and hopefully I've done that, and they can go on this global tour. And the Heist is a great concept, and I hope everyone enjoys it, gets behind it.
100%. I think something you touched on before, and in terms of January, of the unboxing, we don't always see January as packed as what it is. And obviously, it was made slightly weaker, like I say, with Moses Talma's fight not going ahead. I mean, I want to get the figures right. I think he boxed 5 minutes and 24 seconds last year. Just looking at that, obviously, I know there's nothing you can do about a bicep tear and injuries in camp, but imagine that is a bit of a nightmare that this fight's not going ahead right now.
Yeah, of course. It's not ideal. Moses is a young fighter, and he wants to keep busy, and momentum is very important. Heavyweights, I guess, a little less so. We see sometimes the elite heavyweights only having 1, 2 fights a year, but even Tyson Fury's comeback, he wants 3 in 2026. So I'm sure Moses was looking at 3 or 4 this year. Maybe he'll have to settle for 3 at the end of March. The most important thing is the health and safety and fitness of the fighter. As we know, it's a one-on-one sport. So if you're Katie Taylor or a Tasha Jonas or a Lauren Price on top of the women's field, or your the Teofimo Lopez or Shakur Stevenson for next week, or a Boots Ennis, a Virgil Ortiz, and Alexander Usyk, big level fighters. And Moses is obviously the most exciting young heavyweight here. If there's something that goes wrong, then obviously there has to be a postponement. And with this case, it happens to be the whole show, which was disappointing for obviously the rest of the fighters. But it's a lift and shift, and these things happen. It has to be commercially right. It's not a 11-man or 11-woman team, is it? It's not a team sport. It's if there's an injury, there's an injury. And unfortunately, a couple of weeks before, sometimes sparring can go slightly amiss. It can be a cut or a slight niggle or a problem. Normally, you get to fight week and it's okay. But unfortunately, this one was postponed, which was a shame because it looked like possibly the best January on record. I mean, I remember when I was at Sky, John Wischusen from Matchroom used to say there's no point doing any boxing after about the 10th or 11th of December till the end of January because there's so much happening around the Christmas period. There's all the shows like Strictly I'm a Celebrity, events, pantomimes, and people, obviously have had the Christmas and they don't have the money in January, and it's a hard sell. But boxing at the moment is just 24/7, 365 days a year. We saw that on December the 27th in Riyadh. The week later, Amanda Serrano. I mean, it's just been every week, and it's fantastic for us. It's fantastic, most importantly, for the fighters and the fans, and yeah, it just means we don't get much of a holiday.
No, definitely not. Another stacked day is January 31st. There's so many cards. I want to start off with Teofimo versus Shakur, obviously over in the States. Before this interview, I was looking at the odds and it surprised me. Shakur's a heavy favorite going into this, and I know you, Adam, you're not going to write Teofimo Lopez off in this fight. Just what does Teofimo bring to Shakur that maybe he hasn't seen yet in the professional game?
I'm definitely not going to write Teofimo Lopez off. He's a wonderful fighter, a great character. I adore him. Seeing him ringside is always a pleasure. And yeah, he's had some fantastic wins. Obviously, Josh Taylor and Loma, and he's only ever lost once. So what is he? A two-weight champion. Shakur moving up, and although Shakur's picked up titles in 3 divisions, yeah, this is a step slightly into the unknown. But I do like Shakur in this fight. I think he's one of the elite fighters in modern boxing, certainly in terms of pure skill. He reminds me of a Pernell Whitaker, a Mayweather type of slickster. I think he's very, very intelligent. I think if his hands hold up, and I think if he gets in that rhythm that he can do in a fight, I think life could be very difficult for Teofimo. However, Lopez can start very quickly. He's a very, very intelligent box fighter himself. I think he's younger by about 5 weeks. They're very, very close in age. You think that Teofimo's been around longer, but Shakur won that silver medal back a long time ago in the amateurs, and he just took time, didn't he, getting through in the first 3 or 4 years. But now he's absolutely flying. And I was ringside when he fought at the Ring Magazine show in the summer. He looked brilliant that night. I love watching Shakur Stevenson. It's a great fight, but I'm not surprised that Shakur is a favourite. I see him winning on points, but it all depends again with some of these real pick 'em fights at top level. Often they depend on the first 3 or 4 rounds. And if I think that Lopez can really trouble Stevenson early with that extra weight and strength, and Shakur just can't really find his range and his form and his in and out movement, then Lopez could upset the apple cart. But I think that Shakur will probably find his timing, and if he does that, I think it's going to be a tough night for Lopez. Sometimes Teofimo can be a bit flat. He has to be absolutely flying from the first bell in this fight. If he is, it could be really close. If not, I see Stevenson winning this on points.
Definitely. I mean, going into that fight, I watched an interview with Teofimo Lopez, and it was really interesting. He said, first of all, when they were both at top rank, he felt like he was almost being built up to just be a Shakur Stevenson step up, an opponent for Shakur. And another thing that he said is his job is to expose the flaws in Shakur Stevenson that even maybe we haven't seen yet. Have you seen any flaws in Shakur Stevenson's game yet?
Very few. He's not the biggest puncher. And as I said, I think he has got issues with his hands. But I do think an exponent of the sweet science, as a technical boxer, there are very few flaws. Ask those who've shared a ring with him, and there's been some fantastic fighters at several different weights, and they're yet to get the better of him. So yeah, he's top draw. I think I saw something that he did for DAZN where he ranked the pound for pound five, or his five, and I think he went with Crawford, who obviously is retired, before I think it was Usyk, and then maybe Inoue. Can't remember. He put himself at fifth, I think. He's definitely amongst the top. And look, if he continues at this rate and he beats Lopez and starts sort of unifying belts in the super lightweight division, and then maybe even goes one more, I mean, you could end up being a five-weight world champion. And if Shakur Stevenson can do that from being quite a little fighter, he's going to be ranked in those top two or three, I think, very quickly. I think he's brilliant. Having said that, he's got to hold himself together. Physically could be the only disadvantage here. But Lopez has got a good brain as well. You're talking about elite fighters. This is a super fight, a super matchup. I'm gutted I'm not there. I've got another great night in Newcastle that night, that we're there for Josh Kelly, obviously his world title challenge, which is a great story in itself. We mentioned Adam Azim in London too, obviously chasing that world title this year, and Dalton Smith. But in and amongst this division now, Lopez and Stevenson, and it's a fantastic 10-stone brigade, isn't it? And I think that, look, Teofimo's got the weight advantage, maybe the extra professional experience potentially, although that might be a red herring. I just like Shakur in this fight. I've liked it since it was announced, and yeah, I'm not calling it, so I'll go with Shakur for this one.
100%. Like you touched on just a few hours before, we'll both be in Newcastle. Josh Kelly, the big step up, the world title fight. He's back with Matchroom now. I mean, for people that don't know, though, how much of a test does he have on his hands in Newcastle?
Yeah, Motazeliev's a good fighter, really good fighter, dangerous, Russian based in the States, tough and strong, and just one of these guys you don't want. And unfortunately, world titles aren't easy to come by. As Dalton Smith found out, he had to go into the lion's den and go toe to toe with Subriel Matias, who's a well-known puncher and aggressor, and he beat him at his own game. And I think Josh Kelly's got it all to do in Newcastle. He'll have the home advantage, the Northeast crowd. He's got beautiful skills, sublime technical ability, always had fantastic feet, great hands. And he's on a winning run, obviously, since the Avanesian defeat, which I remember clearly, and he was a favourite going into that, but he just sort of came apart. And obviously, that can't happen again against someone as dangerous as this guy. So it's going to be a tough, tough ask. He's going to have to earn this world title. Can he outbox Murtazaliev? Yes, I think he can in large patches. Can he do it for 12 rounds? That's the big question.
Definitely. And just before I let you go, I want to speak to you about a few of the headlines. I think there's a lot going on with the heavyweight division, but a lot of it is just rumors right now. But one of them, Derek Chisora versus Deontay Wilder. I mean, we've seen the video of Chisora signing a contract, and it seems that it's going to be that Wilder fight. I spoke to Deontay Wilder out in Dubai. He seemed fired up. He looked back to his best, which I know until he enters the ring, you never know. But for both guys, this is a good fight on paper for both guys, isn't it?
It's a great fight. I mean, it's an old fight, but it's a fantastic, almost, you could say, a 50-50. We don't know what Wilder's got left. Obviously, he possesses the biggest, probably single punch power since an Ernie Shavers, but he didn't look great. Well, hasn't looked great, has he, for the last couple of years, probably since the Fury trilogy. And Derek continues to keep grinding results out. And once that 50th fight, it would be a fantastic build-up, we know. It looks like it will be announced. I'm hearing April. I just think it's a great battle. I was staying out in Germany, which was an amazing atmosphere, by the way, for Agit Kabayel. I was staying there, and you had the likes of Tony Yoka and Lawrence Coley there, and so many heavyweights waiting for their opportunity. We can't wait to see Fabio Wardley back to defend his new world title. Daniel Dubois on the comeback trail. Richard Riakpor's now a heavyweight. There are so Moses. Obviously, there's so many that could all fight each other. Tyson Fury, is he going to end up with Makhmudov, and will he look for a Kabayel fight? We just don't know how it's going to play out, and who will Alexander Usyk fight. It looked like Usyk and Wilder might meet. I think they were close, but it didn't happen. So look, Wilder, Chisora. It looks like Queensbury Frank have got Derek his big fight. I know Tyson's calling for a world title to be on the line for it. It'd be amazing if Derek could fight for a world title in his swan song. If it is to be his swan song, you never know with Del Boy. I see him every week, Derek, and he's always sort of brooding around and looking for a fight and for some action. And he's got another one, and yeah, I see it as a cracking matchup because they're both at the veteran stage of their careers, and they've both got power, and it's going to be exciting, and yeah, it's probably the perfect match, I think. So I'm looking forward to it.